What can today's activists learn from the protests of the 1960s and 70s? How did students and veterans spark nationwide conversations about war and democracy? And why do those lessons still guide peaceful political movements in 2025? The Vietnam War protests of the 1960s and 70s marked a pivotal moment in American history, shaping the landscape of political activism for generations to come. As we explore this transformative era, we'll uncover the origins of these protests, the powerful role of art and media, and the lasting impact on policy and civic engagement. The roots of the anti-war movement can be traced back to college campuses across the United States. Student groups, disillusioned with the escalating conflict in Southeast Asia, began organizing peaceful demonstrations to question U.S. involvement in Vietnam. These young activists were soon joined by veterans returning from the war, bringing first-hand accounts that challenged official narratives. Civic leaders, recognizing the growing discontent, lent their voices to the cause, creating a diverse coalition united in their call for peace. As the movement gained momentum, it found powerful allies in the worlds of music, art, and media. Folk singers like Bob Dylan and Joan Baez penned anthems that captured the spirit of the times, their lyrics becoming rallying cries for protesters. Visual artists created striking posters and graphics that communicated complex ideas with simple, evocative imagery. These creative expressions helped spread awareness and shape public opinion without relying on violent or inflammatory content. Television played a crucial role in bringing the realities of the war and the growing opposition to it into American living rooms. For the first time, citizens could witness both the conflict abroad and the protests at home in near real time. This unprecedented access to information fueled public debate and forced many to confront uncomfortable truths about the nature of the war. The persistent, nonviolent activism of the anti-war movement began to influence lawmakers and encourage broader discussions about foreign policy and military engagement. As protests grew in size and frequency, politicians could no longer ignore the groundswell of opposition. This pressure from the grassroots level led to significant policy shifts, including the eventual withdrawal of U.S. troops from Vietnam. Perhaps one of the most enduring legacies of this era was the expansion of youth participation in civic life. College campuses transformed into hubs of political engagement, where students debated ideas, organized actions, and developed leadership skills. This precedent of young people taking an active role in shaping their country's future continues to inspire today's student-led movements on issues ranging from climate change to voting rights. The anti-war movement demonstrated the power of building coalitions across diverse communities. Civil rights groups, recognizing the disproportionate impact of the draft on minority communities, found common cause with the peace movement. Faith leaders, drawing on principles of nonviolence and social justice, lent moral authority to the protests. Everyday citizens from all walks of life joined together, showing that when people unite around shared values, they can create powerful change. Many of the techniques pioneered during the Vietnam War protests remain central to peaceful advocacy today. Organized marches, which brought hundreds of thousands to Washington, D.C. in the 1960s, continue to be a powerful tool for visibility and solidarity. Teach-ins, where experts and activists share knowledge to educate and mobilize supporters, have evolved into workshops, webinars, and social media campaigns. The strategic use of media, so crucial in shaping public opinion during the Vietnam era, has adapted to new technologies, with activists leveraging social platforms to amplify their messages. As we reflect on this transformative period in American history, it's clear that the lessons learned continue to guide peaceful political movements. In 2025, today's activists, facing a new set of global challenges, draw inspiration from the persistence, creativity, and commitment to nonviolence that characterized the anti-war movement of the past. The power of youth voices, so evident in the 1960s, remains a driving force in contemporary activism. Student-led movements addressing climate change, gun violence, and racial justice echo the passion and urgency of their predecessors. Like the anti-war protesters before them, these young activists are using their platforms to challenge the status quo and demand a more just and sustainable future. Coalition building across diverse groups continues to be a cornerstone of effective activism. Today's movements recognize the interconnectedness of social issues and work to create alliances that amplify marginalized voices and address systemic inequalities. This approach, rooted in the inclusive spirit of the anti-war movement, helps build broad-based support for change. The role of art and culture in shaping public opinion and inspiring action remains as vital as ever. While the folk songs of the 1960s may have given way to hip-hop and indie rock, music still serves as a powerful medium for expressing dissent and unity. Visual artists continue to create compelling imagery that cuts through the noise of our information-saturated world. While filmmakers and documentarians use their craft to shed light on important issues, the media landscape has undergone a dramatic transformation since the days of the Vietnam War. But the importance of accurate, impactful reporting has not diminished. Today, activists leverage social media and citizen journalism to bypass traditional gatekeepers and share their messages directly with the public. However, they also face new challenges in the form of misinformation and algorithmic echo chambers, requiring innovative strategies to ensure their voices are heard. One of the most significant legacies of the Vietnam War protests is the emphasis on peaceful, nonviolent resistance. This commitment to nonviolence, inspired by figures like Martin Luther King Jr. and Mahatma Gandhi, continues to be a guiding principle for many of today's movements. Activists recognize that moral authority and public sympathy are powerful assets that can be quickly lost through violent or destructive actions. As we look to the future, it's clear that the spirit of the anti-war movement lives on in the passionate, engaged citizens working for change in their communities and around the world. The methods may evolve, but the core principles of peaceful protest, coalition building, and youth empowerment remain as relevant as ever. In conclusion, the Vietnam War protests of the 1960s and 70s offer valuable lessons for today's activists. By studying this pivotal period, we gain insights into the power of peaceful demonstration, the importance of diverse coalitions, and the role of media and culture in shaping public opinion. As we face the challenges of our time, from climate change to social inequality, these lessons from the past continue to light the way forward, inspiring new generations to stand up for their beliefs and work towards a more just and peaceful world.